What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from what I usually do on here, and I'm going to be answering 10 questions all about me. So I went ahead and asked you guys on Instagram and on Twitter what your questions were, so I have a little list here on my phone. So let's get to it. Question number 1, where are you from? I was born and raised in Yonkers, New York. Then I moved to Orlando, and then from Orlando I came down to South Florida to Miami.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
My mother is Dominican and Puerto Rican. Even though I say this all the time, I've never met any of my Puerto Rican family. I've never been to Puerto Rico. I don't know anything about being Puerto Rican, unfortunately. And then my dad's Salvadorian, so I definitely feel like I was raised with more of a Dominican influence. So that's usually what people assume that I am. Question number 2, what did you go to school for? So I graduated from Florida International University, FIU. I did my undergrad in mass communication for PR and marketing, and then my master's degree was global strategic communication, and I did my master's degree online. Number 3, since you have 2 uterus, can you get pregnant twice? So the answer to that is yes. Basically what can happen is I can have a baby in one womb and then I can have a baby in another womb. I can be pregnant already in one and maybe 3 months later get pregnant again in the other one at a different time. With being able to get pregnant in both, I have 2 periods. Sometimes they are at the same time. Sometimes I have one uterus on one week, one uterus is on another week. So yeah, that's really the biggest question that I get asked all the time when I tell people that I have 2 uterus. They're like, so what happens when you have babies? Yeah, I can have 2, and most likely I'll have to have a C-section because it would be a lot for my body to be able to try to push that out. Number 4, favorite place you've traveled to and why? So I haven't traveled to a lot of places. I feel like I spent a lot of my younger years or my youth working hard in school and just making sure that my grades were always on point. But my favorite place to travel to so far has been Jamaica. I've had a lot of good times in Jamaica.
Not home yet, only.
And I will definitely be back most likely this year for the 3rd time. Number 3, how do you stay motivated to work out while working a 9 to 5 and doing side projects? I think motivation isn't something that I really count on. It's more so discipline. I just kind of tell myself that I can do whatever I put my mind to, and I know that if I'm working a 9 to 5 and I'm sitting at a desk all day, I gotta make that 1 hour count. So I try to tell myself, all right, Desiree, you're giving 8 to 9 hours at your job. Give yourself 1 hour. Make that 1 hour count. Go to the gym. Go hard. And that's really all I've been doing, is trying to make it work. Question number 6, how do you detox? So I'm not a person that believes in I'm gonna detox for 1 day, because I don't really think that makes such a big difference to your body. I think detoxing is something that you should continuously do, whether it's at different parts of the day or every single day, or long-term detox. So personally for me, several ways that I detox, whether it's I want to detox my liver or my kidney. You can drink tons of tea, apple cider vinegar, lemon, first thing in the morning. I feel like that's a great way to detox your lymphatic system from first waking up after being asleep for 8 hours, hopefully. Another way to detox that I'm actually doing right now is a parasite cleanse. So I'm going to do a whole video reviewing that. I'm doing the parasite cleanse from Organic Olivia. If you're not already following her, you definitely need to do so, but that's another form of detox. So there's so many different ways. You guys can do juice cleanses. I've done a 3-day juice cleanse before, but there's so many different ways. I would say that if you want to detox, try to think of a specific organ that you want to. So say, okay, this week I'm going to cleanse my liver. Next week I'm going to cleanse my kidneys, or kidney in my case. And there's so many different ways that you can do it. Just make sure you do your research. Question number 7, best food for a flat tummy. So personally, in my experience, flat tummies are made in the kitchen. So this is a really good question, but I don't think there's a specific food that's going to give you a flat tummy. I think it's a combination of your diet. One food that I will say is asparagus. I eat asparagus like crazy, and yes, it does make your pee smell. That's just one of the things that comes with it. If you're a bikini competitor or any competitor in fitness, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So tons of asparagus. I will say be cautious when it comes to certain leafy greens or dark green foods because that will cause bloating. So you just have to play around with your digestive system and see how your body reacts to certain foods, because I may give you a whole list of healthy foods, but then you eat it and you might get really bloated. So that's actually what the parasite cleanse that I'm doing is supposed to help. So I would say a lot of vegetables, like when it comes to greens and vegetables, just eat them. For me personally, plant-based, when I eat meat, I notice that I get a little bit more bloated, so I kind of try to stay away from it. Question number 8, when is your next competition? So I haven't picked when my next competition will be. I'm actually kind of torn on it because I love doing YouTube and I love kind of the side projects that I've been working on, and I know that the next time I compete I want to go hard. I want to come for that #1 spot, but I do know that it's also going to cause me to sacrifice some of the other things that I put my time to. So at this very moment I'm not sure when my next competition is, but I am in the gym doing as much work as I can to maintain my current physique, still meal prepping, still eating well, but I'm just not as strict as I would be if I was competing. Have a little few drinks here and there, which you definitely wouldn't be drinking while you're in prep mode. So the answer is I'm not really sure. Number 9, what is your biggest pet peeve? So one of my biggest pet peeves is when people come to me and they basically just pour out their hearts and they're like, Dezi, I want to eat better, I want to work out more, and then they make every excuse in the book and don't take any advice that I give them. Like, I'll sit there and I'll do a whole meal plan with them, I'll tell them how much they should work out, and then they just give me every excuse like, oh, but I hate eating the same thing every day, or oh, I hate those greens and I hate this and I hate that. And I am the type of person that I was kind of raised on tough love, so I'm like, all right, get over it. Like, either you want it or you don't. I feel like I have a tendency to look at the very best in people and expect the best in them and see what they're truly capable of, even when they don't see it in themselves. So it's a pet peeve of mine, but it's kind of my own fault. I shouldn't get my hopes up for them, but I do. So that's a pet peeve.
I just have a lot of feelings.
Number 10, do you have any phobias? So I wrote about this one time on my Instagram story, but my phobia, and this is not a joke, I am terrified of ostriches. Ostriches, those big birds. I don't know what it is about them. Actually, so this is how it started. So when I was younger, I used to watch Nick at Night, obviously before I go to bed, and Full House used to be on all the time. So if you guys remember Full House, there was a girl who lived next door. I forgot her name. I have really bad memory. But the girl who lived next door, and she had that pet ostrich, and the ostrich used to like attack Uncle Jesse and things like that.
Okay, that bird's not gonna mess with me, or he's gonna end up in a bucket of KFC. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
So I think because I watched that so late at night, I used to have nightmares that I was in Full House and that the ostrich would attack me. Like, I'm dead serious. I'm terrified of ostriches. And so then one day, this was when I moved to Orlando, my dad was like, okay, I'm gonna take you to Gatorland, or no, not Gatorland, he took me somewhere, and he was like, I'll pay you to go ahead and touch the ostrich and go pet it. And I went up to go pet the ostrich, and what he do? He snapped at me. So since then, just thinking about them, they're long, and they're just evil. They just look at you like they're evil, and if I ever saw an ostrich in the wild, like if I'm ever on a safari and an ostrich is chasing like my car or something, I might faint. Oh no. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions that I can use in a future Q&A, please go ahead and let me know. And as always, please like, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Click the buttons right down below and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.